Good evening, Speed Gaming and Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Welcome to tonight's matchup of the Speed Gaming Live qualifiers for Final Fantasy Randomizer 2023 Speed Gaming Live. I am H13, joined in the booth by Fabian Knock with Wildham and Scalpel doing the tracking for it. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Gotta love some qualifying action heading into an actual main event. Also gotta love this forced parties we have with the seeds.
Yeah, for those unfamiliar, these seeds have a very restrictive forced party. Your first slot always going to be black belt. Your second second slot, if I can speak English tonight, is going to be a thief or a fighter. You're never going to have anything your third slot, and your fourth slot is going to be a mage. Now, the thing is, with this seed, or with these flags, it's really, really designed around that black belt. There's no tail, there's no massa, so you can't promote. The only promoted characters you can get are, well, you can get you can recruit promoted mages behind some key NPCs. There are 3 of them scattered about amongst this world. And that's the only promotion you're going to see. So in an ideal world, that second slot is either going to get no XP or get some XP and then be immediately replaced by a mage.
An understandable plan the racers are no doubt aware of, but as far as what they've got to start with, the black belt has plus 20 MDef because it doesn't already get a fast MDef growth to start with. The thief has protection from time and ice, and the red mage, well, that has plus 10 vitality, so extra tankiness over time on the soul caster they start with is not a bad thing.
Yeah, honestly, a red mage is a pretty good start for these flags because you'll have access to some white, you'll have access to a good chunk of the black, at least enough of the early black that if you get something good in there, you can potentially get your black belt grind off the ground once you actually find it. Some other oddities with this flag set: you only need 3 orbs to get into go mode. It's any 3 orbs. The fiends are all going to be alternate fiends, so they're going to be monsters from other Final Fantasies that we have pulled into FF1, and Dark Moon did some good sprite work on them, and our wonderful devs have put together some specific scripts that will match approximately what the feeling of those fiends are. And we're also going to have a random alternate final boss.
We do, I believe, have a short Topher for this, so that's something nice.
Yeah, it is a short Topher. You only have to refight 2 of the fiends. You don't have to refight all of them. So Topher in itself is even going to be a fairly quick and easy Topher comparatively. As for incentive locations, well, excuse me, we have a random chest in the Ice Cave, a random chest in the Marsh Cave, but Vanilla in Ordeals, Vanilla Titan's Trove, Vanilla Canaria Locked, and Vanilla Cardia Islands. No other incentive locations, or no other incentive dungeons are, well, incentivized. Alright, and we are going to be off here in about 10 seconds.
The only special incentive items in the pool are the Power Bonk and the Ribbon, so nothing other than what you'd otherwise get.
Yep. Immediately, we've got Saracen going, alright, Thief, get up front. You're going to be taking some damage. Alright, we got Life and Life 2 at level 1. That Life 2 is promo locked, and we have Zap at level 1 for the Black Magic, so it's technically AoE.
Oh, if it's a sweeper, it's a sweeper.
Yeah. And they've started with a Thor hammer, so hey, have some actual AoE damage. Yay!
Did notice a wood armor plus 2 being picked up by Burt Reynolds for that red mage. Nothing in the way of weapons in the shop. It looks like a hand axe plus 2 and a saber minus 1. Not gonna bother with it, I'd assume. Actually, no, Herbie B is.
Alright, got a little bit of starting cash out of Topher, it looks like. That's something that's always kind of good to find with these because, well, you do need to get your mages powered up a bit. Mages run on money.
Garland with some dark avoids the zap from Saracen. The Thunder Hammer doing its thing. And Flash, it goes darkness into light.
And I also noticed that we had some gold Cheerios -2 available in Canaria for about 15k. All right,
Good to know
and
where they are.
Luffy's probably pretty happy because down goes that thief. All right, we're getting a canal from the king and canoe from the princess.
A little
Well,
boat and a passage for the big boat.
yep. The only map edits we've got on, we have extended open progression, meaning you can walk from Canaria down to Elfland, and we have the Ryukon Desert Dock on. So you have the floater, but don't have a canoe, you can still get in the air. Of course, that's moot with this seed so far.
And our first bridge boss is Saracen.
Wow, and surprisingly enough, Luffy bringing that thief back to life. Must be wanting to keep it alive to get XP for when he changes it to a mage.
Alright, that answers a question I had. Do they transfer the experience with the slot? Also, the blank, it does not get XP, correct?
Correct. The Nuns gain XP flag is not on, nor is the Deads gain XP. And the scaling we're looking at here, the enemies are 60 to 190, so they're going to be a little bit tougher than normal on average. The bosses, though, excuse me, their stats are 80 to 180, so they're going to be probably chunkier than normal strength-wise and such. Hit point scaling. Well, yeah, the hit point is 120 to 230, so they are going to be thick bosses.
We are seeing Burt Reynolds taking on Bicky's Pirates, Saracen following up, but as Saracen did run around and see, Provoca has some interesting building locations.
Yes, this is one of my favorite flags because, honestly, I am a big fan of chaos. This is the Shuffled Provoca shops. So things get moved all around and you gotta find them. It's nothing too major, but I still love it.
Bicky dishing out the crown jewels, got the king's crown there.
Alright, that puts Astos on the table. Much to the chagrin of many, I would imagine, because you have Lightning 2 and Zap. Astos has really good MDef, so that's not going to swing it most likely.
That temper would be useful, but not so useful, I'd assume. And nothing much in the sales. 466 gold for houses. That's actually really nice to see.
Yeah, the houses are a really good price. Weapons, not so good here, though.
Ooh, hot scorpions. They have heat.
Yeah, it looks like Saracen is taking just a little bit of fights while he's heading on down towards Crescent Lake and such. He could swing by Volcano, but he is not going to. All right.
Boom,
right, so
that is a loose ruse stick in Matoya's cave for Burt Reynolds. And a gold Cheerio.
That's a really good find. And it looks like Luffy's going to be finding that real quick here as well.
Matoya is packing.
Yeah. Matoya's holding the goods tonight. Oh, yeah, 8 gold heal pots. That's actually really nice, too. And keeps him real cheap.
So far, the seed has not been too painful for the runners.
Yeah.
But we have much to go. Harm 4, Tier 6, not going to worry about that. No White Mage. Fire 2, Tier 6 also, that's nothing special.
Yeah, that level 6 Brack is kind of sad to see just because it always is useful to have Brack just in case the Dark Knight shows up. Dark Knight, or the Black Knight, not Dark Knight, I apologize for that. The Black Knight is one of the alternate fiends who is actually innately weak to poison.
And we get the Adamant from the Old Man that pushes the runners right towards the Dwarf Cave and the castle. Or Northwest Castle.
Yeah, unfortunately, you're only getting to the Dwarf Cave if you do that long walk around, which is kind of unfortunate for the location of it. For Luffy and Burt, it means they are going to have to swing back around after they pick that up. Saracen and Herbie may very well not need to, and it looks like that crown turns into the herb.
Well, if they get the kill on Astos, that means their route takes them right past Elfland to Crescent, so it's not the biggest time difference in routing.
Yeah, it's just the way that it's rolling. That actually does kind of negate a lot of it. All right, Lightning 3, Luck 2, and Bane. So level 3 black magic actually has some damage. Heal 3 at level 3 white, though, that's also really nice to see.
Luffy resorting to tempering the thief to try, or the black belt to try and get the kill, but gets through there.
Oh, and blink and you miss it. Bert zapped Astos and is just on his way through Marsh already.
Checking
Bert,
Marsh top.
Yeah, because we have the Marsh incentive item just kind of somewhere in Marsh. We don't know where it's going to be at. Hitting Marsh top first does give you a chance to potentially find the key item and not have to go through the rest of this horrible, horrible dungeon.
Indeedly do. Saracen turning in the Adamant Gang, the Crystal. That'll take him to Matoya to get that roost stick.
And getting a red wizard in the process. Surprisingly enough, going for the 4-person party as opposed to just replacing that thief.
Yeah, meanwhile, Luffy DV picking up the slab with that herb turn-in.
Well, that's eventually useful.
Top taking care of Burt Reynolds going downstairs in Marsh as the crystal turns into the ribbon.
And a reset right out of that, because, yeah, ribbon, it's great. I'll grab it later.
Exactly. Does mean he's just reset out of what we know is the roost stick, but he's not going to worry about it at this point.
He didn't even check that chest. The roost stick may as well just not exist for him.
And the TNT.
It's dynamite.
And that's a relatively good place to find it, because that's a short rock right back up 2 dwarves to get that turn in.
And it looks like Bert's hamster may have maybe having a little bit of a heart attack. We'll be back with him when he can.
Yep, it has stuttered to life.
Meanwhile, Luffy is on the river system, heading on over towards Crescent Lake. Gonna find that Adamant. Gonna be disappointed because that means he's gonna have to turn right back around. Now,
Yes.
if Luffy's lucky, he will actually think to hit up Marsh Cave before heading all the way back up to Dwarves.
Saracen is going back towards Elfland.
Yeah, he's gonna get that slab, be really annoyed with it.
And nope, Herbie is going to dwarfs first. But hey, it's not that out of the way for that short jaunt, relatively speaking.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of an annoyance because it just means you'd have to go back and double dip it. Oh, and it looks like we had a black wizard at the Prince. I did not notice that before. And it looks like Saracen opted to replace that red wizard with that black wizard.
Understandably so. Not only do you get access to all of the black magic in the game, it comes with free warp.
Yeah, I personally probably would replace the red wizard at that point, or the red mage at that point, just because that way you have both wizards. But that does mean that he would have had to go back and purchase those spells again, which never a fun thing to have to do.
Indeed. As Burt Reynolds is heading back out of Marsh Cave, Herbie B and Saracen are going up to the top of Marsh Cave.
Yeah, now the thing with Bert just dipping in and grabbing it, then we are going to see, excuse me, then we're going to see, I entirely forgot what I was going to say, and my brain just turned off. Yes!
Well, we see Luffy DV doing what you said to do and ditching the red mage for the black mage.
Oh yes, now I was going to say, we're going to be seeing these two runners probably reset out of Marsh Top when they find out that there is nothing there. And yes,
So.
just to cover a question in chat, excuse me, we do have 3 recruits wandering a world held in check by some random NPCs. Oh, and there was a Bane sword on Marsh Top. Unfortunately, they decided to just nope right on out of it.
And the boat was actually in the place of where the canal normally would be. Weird that it had to be blasted out of the rock to be freed, but hey, we get a floater that unlocks an airship buried in sand, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. It's just don't question it. All right, looks like Herbie saw that ruse or that Bane sword and decided, yeah, I'm going to keep that. And went back up to Marsh Top, grabbed it, and is heading on his way out. Oh, or maybe not.
And Luffy not resetting out of Matoya, taking the ribbon and walking it out, as the slab's picked up by Bert. And he swapped the thief for the black mage.
As I would have honestly expected. Oh, was ghouls with a nuke? That's kind of a horrifying thought. And crawls with blaze. Ooh,
They'll
that
be
explains.
facing those later.
Yeah. Saracen got that adamant and getting on out of Marsh.
Unfortunately, Final Fantasy 1 does not have the materia that lets you steal abilities from your enemies. That's Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
They cannot steal nuke.
Alright, Saracen safely out of Marsh Cave, dropping a save immediately. Gonna go get that boat from that shiny, or not shiny rock, the shiny pile of explosives.
And Luffy, meanwhile, is our first racer to actually hit up Ice Cave.
With a black mage, I can understand it. Though, honestly, it doesn't matter as much because it's still a random chest in ice. So, whilst you can use the warp trick to potentially check the spike tiles a little easier, it's not going to save you as much time as it would if it were a vanilla ice location.
Personally, I'm a little shocked that our racers haven't gone out of the inner sea to get to the ice cave, but it's a long boat ride.
All right, and
hey,
we get
beans.
Beans! For those who are confused what the devil that actually is, that is the ruby. It's just one of the fun percent flags.
And Luffy is completely done with that. He is not going to dive deeper, does not want to risk anything at his low levels.
I can understand it. That being said, he is also missing out on 4 spike tiles. So, I mean, I would have probably hit those up personally, but there's a reason that I'm commentating rather than playing.
There are many grinds to be had later on, and meanwhile, we have our first runner out of the inner sea, and that is Saracen, who went straight for ordeals with warp in hand. That also helps.
Early ordeals, good play to make.
It's faster to get there by speedboat than it is by airship later.
It's actually just about the same amount of time, but you have much less of the encounters that you would run into in the desert. I mean, that does mean you have less of a chance to run into sandworms, but it also means you have less of a chance of running into ankylos and our ankylos.
Very true. And it looks like some zombies took out the black mage, so he reset out of that and went right back in. Really wants those warp casts.
Yeah, I can't blame him on that.
Herbie B shuffling parties as he turns in the herb. Get your pillars in chat, people. We need to see a 3rd or 4th pillar to be fun.
Alright, so first spike tile. Alright, Red Dragon goes, look, Black Mage, nah, you don't get to live.
Neither does the black belt.
You don't get to live either. But Luffy is hitting up Volcano, making a quick check, checking the spike tiles, Cobras, those are useless. Oh, looks like we got some pro rings for sale in Elfland. Water's on the spike tile.
Nice.
Nope, I'm out.
And Burt Reynolds joining Saracen in ordeals. Saracen obviously not going back to that spike tile in front of the linked chest there. Doesn't need to worry about it.
He knows what it is. He knows it's, I mean, a red dragon, it can be a good grind. Honestly, he does not care for him right now, though.
Plus, that is the link chest, so one of the chests here on this top floor is that same item. And there's an interesting pack for if you have sweepers. That Thunder doesn't do horrible damage, or the Lightning 2 doesn't do horrible damage on these, but do they have other good sweepers like Fire 2 or Fire 3 that would deal worth this pack?
They've got a couple of Lightning 3 casts, so it's not going to do great damage, but it should do at least enough. Hopefully.
But 3 Wiz Mummies and 6 Mummies, that's a good chunk of experience. And the Red Dragon that's actually green for Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Burt runs with Palette Shuffle on. We're going to see some interesting colors.
Saracen skipping those chests, just going straight for the incentive bottle, as Herbie B is in Melman getting that slab translated and checking out the stores.
Oh, those Gersharks, those would be real nice if they had magic charges still.
Correction, Bert not checking the stores at all, just wanted to translate the slab, as Saracen is out of ordeals and back on the boat.
Yeah, at this point, I imagine, let me see here.
They have the Ruby, or at least one of them, Luffy DV does, so that's, once he's got this TNT turned into a boat, he will be able to check the Titan Strove.
And that will give access to 2 items, because that'll give you access to Sarda, and it will also give you access to, well, the Titan Strove in itself.
And Bert finding the Vorpal -2. Definitely not worth checking those chests. Saracen made the right choice.
Yeah, the only good thing about that Vorpal is that's money.
This
I mean,
is
that's
true,
pretty much it.
Casters in the party usually take up a good chunk of money, especially in the early game. Luffy
An
out
army
with
marches
the
on its
TNT.
Yeah, no, an army marches on its stomach, a mage marches on your wallet.
The Golden Brick Road is what the mage paves in front of it with your gold in hand.
Yeah. Even Classic Gamer, one of the Vorpal stands in chat, agreeing, yeah, the Vorpal is nigh on useless in this seed. The only person who you'll ever be able to swing it is that Red Wizard. Because no tail means no promotion, means no ninja, no knight.
And Luffy doing the red-black combo as well, the up front black belt, gets his ship and can get out of the inner sea as Saracen and Herbie B are both going to Ice Cave at the same time.
And just to reference that previous comment, because it's not that there's no expected tail, there is no tail. The tail has been removed, as has the Masa.
As the dwarf that Luffy DB just checked with said, hooray! Some variants.
Oh, Zokus have crack. That's definitely a thing.
Where's the barrel? I want some chicken.
Alright, now I'm wondering if Saracen or Herbie are actually going to check the spike tiles here, or if they're just going to grab the stuff and nope on out. Probably grab the stuff and nope on out. Alright, Luffy getting that Red Wizard goes, alright, yeah, I'm going to take that over the Red Mage, I'm going to go pick up life too.
We do not have life in battle, I believe.
Correct. Oh, and their loot is for sale in Canaria.
Did miss that before. That is necessary and it's cheap.
Oh, slime tile. Too bad you have no fire.
That is a very dense chunk of experience, but also the fact that it requires sweepers for the rest of the party to get that experience.
Yeah, and fire or non-elemental will work, and that's it.
The Jotunheim pack, nothing too special there.
Just kind of an annoyance. And it looks like Saracen did not check that center chest, so nope. Well, never mind. Now he's checking it. He was just checking the spike tiles.
Yep,
Ugh.
wanted to warp up to that side check because he had already checked the right chest.
Oh, also, and as I see Wildam is saying, oh yeah, about good weapons in this seed. Well, there might be a Coral Sword +3. No, there won't. It's -2 to +2 only.
Hey, if you have enough optimism, you might bring it into reality.
No. Yeah, when I say this is a black belt heavy favoring seed, her flag set, I mean it.
And Luffy DV getting our first check. It is the Rod at the Titan's Trove. So Sarda didn't have it, the Titan did.
Well, it's useful. It's not progression per se, but it's still useful.
Right, well, Luffy's in his inventory. He's going to go and make sure he equips all his gear, having shuffled his party around with the recruits. All the gear unequips. So has to make sure he gets that taken care of before he moves on to big fights. Katana +1, that would be very useful if the thief could promote.
Yes. That's a big pile of if. And we get a floater from Sarda. All right.
Skyward bound. And the bottle in hand to make a quick jaunt down to Gaia for those who got it.
Yeah, that is actually kind of convenient.
Unfortunately, Luffy is not one of the two racers that went to Ordeals just yet, so when Burt Reynolds and Saracen do make it, and Saracen is very close there and Melming in the translated slab, he will make that run back. And Burt moving towards Melmiconna to join them as Herbie B is making his way through to exit the ice cave. No black belt up, no warp charges to use, just gonna walk it out.
Yeah, I can't blame him on that. Just get in, get out, just be done with it. All right, and Saracen popping on out of the Titan's tunnel, dropping a tent so he can, reset if this ends up being nothing. Then, well, it'll allow him to not have to worry about spending any magic charges, or in case of enemy set jumping him and not letting him get away, he can just reset out of it. All right, and at 2410-ish or so, yeah, 2410, we have Luffy DV in the air. 2414 total. And now he's off to nobody knows. Probably actually going to go drop in and grab the incentive item out of Cardia, which would be the which would be from the Cardia Forest, or he could make a long walk down to Bahamut, but why? And it looked like there was a white mage behind Sarda, so if you actually kill Vampire before going to Sarda, congratulations, you can pick yourself up a white wizard. No one is suing, though.
And the Oxio coming out of the Cardia Isle chest. That is another dungeon accessible. That is all the fiends that they need. They do not need the chime and the cube, given we only need 3 orbs.
Yep, only got to find the key, and that's probably just going to be either Lefane or, Lefane or Gaia.
Well, we have Gaia for the runners out the bottle. Luffy, again, does not have it. He's checking the store here. Getting some houses.
Pick up some houses. Yeah, I don't blame him. There are a good amount of encounters that come clustered together, so he's probably going to go do a check of, it looks like he's heading towards Ordeals. Never mind then.
Yeah, Ordeals, and then go back to Lefane, which at this point, this is the correct order, because you get the bottle, go right back to return it in, then just go straight south to Lefane.
Delicious Sarias.
They're a bit chewy, but they taste like chicken. At least that's what I'm told.
The other really important thing with going to Lefane right after this is Lefane Superstore is on. Oh, there is the chime from the ferry, so nope needed.
And no
Though
warp charges.
Saracen does not know that at this point, because he hasn't picked up the Oxy Ale.
Well, this would be an interesting transition, because if he gets the cube out of Lefane and finds the key and the loot without having going to Canary Isles, but I doubt he won't go to Canary Isles at this point. It's the fastest check he has after this.
Party Islands are a really quick check to grab.
Cardia, not Canaria. My apologies.
That's fine. It's one of those sea things. Delicious steak. Delicious bitey steak. It's not so good.
You know, we make the steak joke. I just imagine we replace the Tyro and the T-Rex with cows. I know we have the art for the steaks, actually, but giant cows.
That would be kind of funny as well. Alright, and looks like he's doing a little bit better on his trip on down to Lefane. And Bert knows he no longer needs to get any of the cube. Survey says key! Alright. So, unfortunately for Saracen, that means that the cube is going to be at Waterfall. And the Oxy Ale, well, he'll pick it up if he stops by Cardia. But if he is hoping to not have to stop by Lefane, or not stop by the Onrak continent, he's going to be disappointed.
It really does come down to which way he turns out of the Lefane check.
Yep. Alright, level 5 fast, level 5 saber, level 5 warp. That's fast on that warp. Pretty good to find. The saber, well, the red mage could use it if something goes horribly, horribly wrong. But honestly, if you're at that point where you're having to use saber on your red mage or red wizard, you got bigger problems.
Unless it's the final fight and you're one swing away, you probably just want to reset out, because the black belt should be able to punch through just about anything faster than you can grind it with the red mage.
Yeah. Alright, so Saracen has got the key, and I entirely had forgotten about the Canaria locked chest, so he could pull the cube out of here, which would then mean he wouldn't have to hit up the Cardia Islands, he wouldn't have to hit up Onrak.
This could also be the power bonk.
It could be. Nope, it's the cube. Alright, so we've got the power bonk at Waterfall then.
This means Saracen is buying the loot from the store here in Canaria away from Go mode.
Yep.
AKA find the grind mode.
Yeah, grind and go. Alright, speaking of grind and go, looks like Herbie has made his way on down to the Agama floor, and we'll see what's on the Agama tile tonight. Survey says, mummies, not worth it.
And meanwhile, Burt Reynolds, taking the Northwest Castle grind checks, finds blue Ds on the first of the two tiles.
Blue Ds are kind of a trap. They have a lot of hit points, they hit kind of hard, and, well, if you've only got lightning as your spells, you're not going to have a good time.
Well, the chicken was killed off, aka the black belt in front of Bert's party, gets out of there, revives it, and finds a Jotunheim pack, and then resets it right out of Northwest Castle.
That wasn't even Jotunheim, that was just straight up giants. Bert's going to go check the Toph locked and be disappointed by that, just as Saracen is now going to go check the, check the Northwest Castle locked and be disappointed by that.
Hey, it's that Black Knight you were talking about earlier instead of Carrie.
Alright. So yeah, Black Knight, one of the alternate fiends. I'm not sure which one he originated from. I think
that
FF2.
Would be FF2.
Yeah, but no, he is the brackable fiends of the alternate fiends we've got.
He is also incredibly
could also
brutal.
work. Yes. No, the stats aren't nothing to laugh at here.
So, did we see it? Yes, we did. We have an eye tile in Hall of Giants.
Oh,
Their grind has been found, and Saracen is right there with Burt Reynolds, with Saracen in grind and go mode. Ooh,
oh, the eye has
that's
trance.
annoying.
Yeah, that makes the eye a bit less fun.
The
Or
grind
likely.
has been sidestepped for now.
Yeah, if you can get your black belt online, great, you'll be fine. But until you can do that, that trance is going to be a little bit spoopy.
Saracen
And
actually remembering the ribbon, going back to get that. He's probably going to put it on the black belt and use that to keep it standing.
and forgetting that his black mage is still out of warp charges. Oh, Kirby has also found the eye. Aye. I'll see myself out.
Look, we were all Power Rangers fans at one point.
Yeah. Ooh, blue stake for Luffy, though. I didn't see where he...
just as, if not better, grind, depending on what it has to do.
Yeah.
Nope, that makes it less good. It is off the hard reset, it seems.
I don't know. I couldn't tell if he did a hard reset or a soft reset.
No, it looks like it actually was just a random encounter as he was running back to Lefane, so it's too deep in the encounter tile to try and do an overworld grind.
Well, that is shame.
Extra shame that he's actually going to downrank on it for some reason.
Luffy has the Oxyale. No reason not to. This way he doesn't have to try and chase out the cube. He can just go.
He is the one party or member of the on-stream racers who is not taking the eye grind currently.
And as you say that, he's heading to Earth.
We will have all 4 of our on-stream racers doing the exact same grind at the exact same time, dealing with the exact same issue of ooh, it also has poison.
That's actually kind of a good thing for Saracen, because hey, all of a sudden his party members are dead.
And he's got the ribbon on that black mage or black belt, so let's see how dense it is. That's 140. Poison hits, doesn't do the kill. And yeah, this is a good grind at this point.
Yeah, this is time to go Noom.
Unfortunately, Saracen just went off tile on the wrong tile and is not to well, hopefully run away, and he did.
All right, got away from those images. Looks like Kirby might be popping on out, so he can potentially bring his red mage back, or his black mage back, or is he... I'm not sure where he's heading to right now. Probably going to go res that red mage, though, just because, well, it kind of hurts to have that down for him right now. All right, Luffy, also on the eye, has found that it has glance, too, but does not matter. It's his punch cannon's going.
Yeah, it looks like he was just getting some more pots.
Ah, okay.
How many barrels does the punch cannon have? Is it going to be stuck at 8, or will they go all the way to 10?
The scaling, you can do it at 32, and honestly, they may very well just go at 37, because of that plus 20 MDef, that knocks off 5 levels that you need to get the maxed out MDef on the red or on the black belt. Yeah, because then, I mean, you would still be at 8 hits, you wouldn't be at the full 10, you wouldn't be doing as much as a 42. You also would be saving 5 levels worth of grinding.
Speaking
and in these races...
Saracen took a second to take the ribbon off the black mage, or black belt. It is back up to the point where the ribbon is more or less unnecessary.
Yeah, and the other thing about that is it means that the black belt actually has some absorb, rather than running with the 1 absorb that it has if it has just that ribbon equipped.
The interesting mechanic where its absorb is based off of its levels, but if you have any sort of armor, it overrides that and just gives you that armor's absorb instead.
Yep.
It is quite literally stronger and tankier bare naked.
Yep, alright, we got level 28 on Bert's side. Not sure what Luffy's at right now. Level 29. Saracen is going to be pulling up to 32 here real quick. It's already pulled to 32, it seems. 33 now. And one of the reasons that ribbon actually made a difference is one of the flags we have turned on is trans is status element. In the vanilla game, Trance in itself is non-elemental, so a ribbon is useless against it. That's why everything with Trance is an absolute bane. But with these flags, no, Trance's status great. At least
There's
I'm
a
about
good question in
80%
chat,
sure.
thank
I'm
you.
going to check on that. No, Trance is not status. Ignore me on that.
Well, I mean,
Let
your
me
information
redact
was
my statement.
correct. Your information is correct if it were a flag that was enabled.
Yes. All right, Saracen's probably going to take this on up to 42.
It is the answer to life, the world, and everything.
Yep. Looks like Bert made a little off step or is trying to get out and is having to deal with these images.
Good, and that Thor hammer some good use still, and heading on out.
Yeah, he hit 32. He's like, all right, this is good enough. Let's roll.
Yeah, one nice thing about being in this dungeon already with that kind of levels, especially any higher levels at all, this will be a fairly fast run through. Nope, he was actually just bailing out to reset or to save and continue the grind. Just wanted to be that much careful.
All right, there is 42 for Saracen.
That's a 10 barrel punch cannon.
Yep. Look, thief, get up. Be in a blade of meat shield and try and run. That's a really good thing about keeping a stoned character around.
Now, it's interesting, wouldn't it be better at this point for him to move the thief out and put the black belt in front? Because at this point, at this dungeon, they're just going to run away from his party if he has the black belt in front.
Yeah, he wants that thief dead, though.
Ah, he revived it to just straight up kill it?
He brought it back from stone so he could get away from the images a little easier. Because black belts are not the greatest runners.
Luffy DB out, saving, and going down to the dungeon as Herbie B is out and stacking up the magic for his party.
Yep, gotta pick up that magic. Gotta make sure those mages are actually kind of useful before they turn into, a carpet.
The blue smear that Saracen just rubbed his boots on, just cleaning off the dirt.
I believe that's just called a raffle stomping at this point. Cracking that pry bar
would
out.
normally be a speed bump, but I mean, at this point, it's just going to be flattened straight out.
Yeah, this it doesn't matter what's in Lish's place. It's gonna die real quick.
In truth, at this point, all of these black belts have mastered consecutive normal punches.
Yeah. These punch cannons are fully armed and operational.
And Herbie B getting that key out of Lefane, the only runner not to go straight down into the dungeon having got the grind, but understandably so, as he did not have all the exploration that the other runners have had.
And tonight, playing the role of Lich is Leviathan.
And Leviathan died just as easy.
Yeah. Leviathan likes long walks on the beach, water, does not like lightning, and does not like level 42 black belts.
We shall see how Saracen deals with the Black Knight as well.
I would imagine that Saracen's going to be introducing the Black Knight to a previously unknown allergen, which is a level 42 black belt.
Armor does a really good job of dealing with small impacts. Doesn't do that great a job when it's literally caved in and crushes whatever it's protecting.
Yep. Especially since the half black belt crit rate flag is off. So they have a crit rate of level times 2, which is real big.
Which very much explains these 13 to 14,000 damage kills on Leviathan. I mean, that's not critted though, so...
Yeah, it's real messy. Oh, hi, Agama. Agama, you missed the thief. You failed.
Interesting. Herbie is currently checking a grind spot. He is not going to continue grinding on that eye. I don't think that's the right move at this point.
I think the trance scared him away because it was hitting his black belt, so it was making it a little bit more difficult to actually grind on.
Understandable. Gonna go ahead and get the cube. I believe it was out of the castle lock.
Yeah. Oh, wow, and Saracen actually keeping that thief up? I guess he might want to give it a little bit of growth.
Says sit down, does nothing, does 1200 damage, kills a Black Knight.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Next stop for Saracen, the punch cannon of the seas, Kraken. Or what normally would be Kraken.
Nah, Saracen's next stop is going to be, excuse me, Sky. He does not pick up the Oxy Ale.
Ah, my mistake. He's the one who has to deal with the Sky Palace.
Yes, so he might take a trip to McDonald's, hopefully.
We can indeed hope.
For
Meanwhile,
himself a
Herbie
big
B
McDonald's meal.
Herbie B has made it into Volcano as the Burt Reynolds is now on the bottom floor to deal with it.
Yeah, and Herbie is aware that he's got the Black Knight to face here. I'm not sure what level his black belt is at, but... Okay, Burt, your Black Knight...
The answer is enough.
Yeah, and Burt's Black Knight was looking awfully white there. Luffy heading on over to the Onrat continent, getting ready to make that horrible, horrible walk down to Kraken. I despise the Onrat continent. It's just so inconvenient.
Understandable. Now, which is the better walk in your opinion? The walk down to Kraken or the run up to Tia in this case?
For the run to Tia, if you're not having to do any looting, it's really, really fast. Sky 2 is so short if you don't touch anything.
Very true, and we have no incentive to go down and carbonate bubbles, which is indeed sad.
Yeah, the Bubble Soda Company is having some supply chain issues right now. We're just not getting enough carbonation, unfortunately. We expect the drought to continue for the duration of this tournament.
Herbie shuffling around some magic before doing the punches. I'm probably sure... Oh, wow, his level is not nearly as high as the others. Try and get temper up on that black belt.
I think it is sub 32 still.
Those lower levels mean less hits. Not only are they doing less damage, so...
Yeah, 5 hits there, so that would indicate, yeah, sub 32.
This is a semi-operational punch cannon.
Yeah, it's being wound up still.
And unfortunately, with the 4 party members up, that's not going to get up there fast at all.
Yeah, all right, and we are on the Bridge of Destiny for Saracen. Are we going to see a big mech? No, we are not. We are going to see Asura. No elemental weaknesses, but honestly, wow. Surviving a 10 hits for 823, which 120 to 280 scaling, yeah, that makes sense because it means it's got at least 1200 hit points. Oh, hey, and Saracen's Black Mage got turned into a statue again.
All the fun. That is one Ashura down in the sky, and we have found Carbuncle in Kraken's spot in the sea.
Oh, Carbuncle and Ashura are ones that are kind of spooky to run into, just because they don't have that much in elemental weaknesses. Ashura has none, and I don't think Carbuncle has any either. I'm addressing the wiki right now to look that up.
Well, Saracen, our first runner on stream into the refights, takes care of Leviathan, gonna try his chance at the Carbuncle he had not dealt with before. 1000 damage with the hit. Oh, there goes the thief. 7 hits to death.
Blade of Meat Shield did with Blade of Meat Shield things, that's fine.
And Carbuncle had less than 1900 health.
The reason that Ashura is a bit of a spooky thing is that it puts a Cure 4 into the pool. Excuse me. Black Knight puts, slow 2, fast, saber, a couple of sabers, a Brack. Carbuncle puts in fast, Cure 2, slow 2, wall, saber, and Cure 3. So not much of the way of damaging, but it's really defensive. Oh, and we have the Sahagan Wagon tonight. That would be a Kraken 1, a Kraken 2, some Arsahags, and some Wizzahags.
The Lit 3 doing a good job to deal with it, and Flash doing a good job just to mess with people.
Yeah. Not like the Dark Belt or Improved Dark is on, so this is fine.
All the Hags are down, and now we just have to deal with the Kraken Eyes, which have been poked out, all but one set. And Stinger takes the Black Belt and Mage down to a knee, but otherwise no real effect.
That only takes it down to a knee because, well, it's hard to stay standing when you're poisoned. But there comes a fast, which could be a little spooky if it weren't about to get crushed. So get your GGs out and chat for Saracen, finishing up first on stream with an official racetime.gg time of 47 minutes and 20 seconds. So 47:19. That is good enough for a second place overall, with Fryteeth finishing up first with 419.
And joining us in the booth is Saracen GG.
Hello. Gee.
That was a good run. I was kind of surprised you actually kept that thief alive as long as you did.
Oh, I wanted the runner. I'm part of the No Hard Reset gang, which is a meme gang most of the time. And when I saw that there was that cluster of 4 where the encounter table reverses, I was not looking forward to hitting that consistently. So I wanted to keep the thief up just for the run chance for the first strikes.
I can understand that. And also get your GGs out in chat for Burt Reynolds, finishing up second on stream, third overall with a time of 48:14. And Burt has mentioned that he has limited time this evening, so he shall be taking a pass on the interview. But GGs to him.
Yeah, GG's Burt.
And looks like Luffy is down to just the Sahags and his cannon, so we can literally just count the time on this till it's done.
You never know. Wizzahags are rough sometimes. They
not rough enough for a 42 black belt.
You never know until they go through their whole script or they die. So here we are. They're dead. GG, Luffy.
Yep, and that would be a 49.06 for Luffy.
So this was an adventure in making every incorrect gamble.
You say that, but you still came in second. And we are also joined by Luffy, so GG's Luffy.
GG's, guys.
GG's, buddy.
Oh my god, that was so terrible.
Did you also make all the incorrect gambles?
Let me tell you, I had my ship at I think 20 minutes. It was so bad. I did everything but Marsh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You actually started off by getting, doing a lot of stuff really luckily. But yeah, that last locationing Marsh was a little bit of a stinger. That being said, you had all of your go items before anyone else on stream did.
That doesn't shock me because I realized I had gone to ordeals when I didn't have to. All I had to do was turn in that slab. But at that point, I was panic look for a grind tile. And it wasn't the greatest idea.
Everyone went to ordeals, so don't feel bad about that.
Yeah, I was talking to a few other runners in a group chat, and they said they did the same thing, so it happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
How much did you all enjoy the eye with its specific skill set?
So you saw me dive out, fly over to Matoya, grab that ribbon, slap it on the black belt, go back, and then find out about the damage poison. So let me tell you, was I happy with that decision when I found that information out?
Understandably so.
I had that ribbon so much earlier that like I found the eye, and I think right before that, I think I moved the ribbon onto the black belt, maybe the fight right before the eye or something, but I had just moved it, and like the trance came out right away, and I'm like, oh, that's not great. And then I saw something, and maybe a punch, and then Blaze killed the other two, and I'm like, oh, and then the damage poison. I was like, oh,
the damage poison was before the Blaze. I
Okay,
know
okay.
that.
It was bad, and it mowed down the whole party, and I was like, well, I'm glad the black belt is like level 14 and can somehow survive this. Cool.
Yeah, that's the eye actually obliged in taking down the rest of your party. Surprisingly, that rarely happens.
Mhm.
I know. I was amazed. So here's the funny part that you didn't see.
Mhm.
So I'm flying out after I see the trance to go get this ribbon, and I had seen the ribbon because I made that gamble before going to Marsh.
Yep.
And promptly reset back to in front of Dwarf to walk down to Marsh. But I'm flying to Matoya's, and on my second monitor, I'm scrolling through the flags to see, is trance equal status element turned on? No. The answer is no.
Yep. Sure is not. That's why I made sure that like when I found that ribbon, I was not letting it go.
Yeah, I had entirely forgotten about that. So I was like, oh yeah, that explains why Saracen's going to grab the ribbon. Oh, wait a minute. Nope.
Yeah, I discovered that I think maybe at a practice late last week when I was like scrolling through the flags again. And I was like, oh, I must have missed this the first 20 times I ran these. I'm glad I saw it now.
Yeah, I felt like everything got lucky with that grind once I got it off the ground, and yeah, until then the entire seed felt terrible. And by the way, GG to Fryteeth, who beat me by 3 minutes even.
Yeah.
44-19 is a very solid time for this seed, and I mean generally for the flag set it's pretty decent. So
yeah, bit of an anomaly earlier. Game one of this qualifier thing was a bit of an anomaly with how fast some of those were. So GG's for sure, Fryteeth. That's hecka fast, man.
Yeah, game one, for those who are not aware, there was somebody who'd finished at the 35-minute mark.
Yeah.
35:08.
Yeah.
Unfortunately DQ'd due to a stream discarded delay.
So yeah. He's scary and we know it. We understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's a reason that I'm just commentating rather than participating. It's like, yeah, no, there's too many scary people in this one. I don't feel like getting my face stomped in like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Saracen's been kicking my teeth in these flags for like the last 3 weeks. Like I beat him on Sunday and I felt like really good. And then like today, I'm not surprised that he was again 90 seconds in front of me, like I've been talking about.
Yeah.
What a guy.
There's
Well,
only,
you did
there's
have
only
that
55
divergence.
seconds. Yeah.
One of you got the cube and the chime, the other one had the oxyale.
Yeah.
Yeah, that bottle leading to that chime was, oh.
It was sad, man.
You know
and
what?
I didn't need to go there. That's the saddest part.
So I didn't mind because I got the cube, and I'm assuming the oxyale was in Cardia, right?
I believe
Yes.
it was, yeah.
Yeah, because the only locations I didn't check were Cardia and Waterfall. It had to be 50-50 there.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have gone to Waterfall without a plan to go into sea. So
Yeah.
the magic was sad in this seed. The only thing that really played well to me was I got the red wizard, killed Astos, and it stayed up, so it got levels. And then I promptly replaced it with the black wizard so that I had the warp charges. And I didn't even like look at level 4 magic right away. I just didn't have money for the longest time. When I left Lefane, I had like 200 gold to my name, which is unheard of, right? Like,
that is why I went to Ordeals also thinking before I went to Lefane, because I had no money. And I'm like, if I gotta, double down on something, let me do this. No one else is gonna do Ordeals, and then promptly find out we all do Ordeals. And like, I have no cash to go there. And I still went there with like 20 grand because there was like no money in Ordeals. I was poor the whole time, and I forgot to buy Lightning 3 the second time on my Red Wizard, so he was just like he was just throwing zaps out and prayers, so it was doing this whole thing with like the lit 3 on the Black Wizard, and like that's it. It was so terrible.
I had a couple of resets in Ordeals to unfortunate things. One of those was a group of zombies that just trashed me, and the other was I tried to take the red D, and no. No.
It was a mistake.
Half a second, I thought about the red dragon. I'm like, this is a really bad idea at like level 11.
Hey, twinsies! That's about where I was too.
Oh my god, get out of my head, Saracen.
Did you know that Luffy and I run the Duckling program together and have like mind merged?
So if you guys want to run as bad as we did tonight, come on and hang out with us. We'll teach you how to play just as bad.
So it's the second and third place finishers. So just as a point of note, Ashura won Death Touch.
Hot diggity dang with that
Yes.
Ashura. I don't know. She lasted 2 rounds.
I don't know. Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
fine.
You had a level 42 black belt, though. Herbie's black belt is not there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Seems
that
to have bailed out before he got the grind up because he was annoyed by the Ite's ability set.
Yeah. The trance was doing him dirty.
Scary.
Trance is one of the worst abilities in the game, and the fact that we had the Trance's status flag added to the randomizer was one of the highlights for that particular skill.
Yep.
And then we just don't have it on all the time. And I don't understand why. I don't get it.
It's for reasons like this, to trip up people just like it did to me last week and you a little bit today. Like it's to mess with the people because it's one of those quality of lives that like should be there. But it's not. And then you're painfully reminded of it every now and again.
Hey,
Yeah.
At least the slow boat isn't turned on.
Yeah.
I
Dark
mean-
Moon, if you're out there, you monster, Dark Moon.
This is interesting. Herbie made it down to Toph and then left and is getting the Oxio.
Yeah,
He
I
has
think
all
he
3
was.
orbs he needs. He wants the power bonk, it seems.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he realized he may have not have realized he had the loot and thought that it might have still been outstanding. But I mean, that was a nice early shop item, so we didn't have to check all the shops. That was
Yeah, like 2,500 gold for your loot. That's great right there.
Which I didn't have
mean-
money for about 15 minutes, but I knew it was there.
Luffy. It's even better for me. So I got the loot after I did my shopping in Lefane by selling off a heel stick and a weir sword or something like that. Like
You
I had to
the weird
stop.
sword too.
I had to stop in the Canaria weapon shop to get the money for the loot.
That's amazing.
Walking into the pawn shop with some weapons. You guys buy this from me. I want to buy a guitar.
Sell it to you cheap. Oh my god!
I just gotta go to the Guitar Center next door.
It was it was something else.
I thought real hard about keeping that Bane sword in Top of Marsh, and then I was like,
yes, but I was like, no, I can't do that. What am I
Right?
doing?
again,
Yeah.
we are completely mind merged
Yeah.
when it comes to some things, and this is one of those things.
Yeah.
That being said, I have to ask you, Saracen, how many times did you try to warp with no warp charges? Oh my goodness.
Enough. Oh, that's a new call, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's not something we saw before.
No.
Yeah, Carbuncle, I think, punched out my thief and then died before it could act again.
Mm-hmm.
It just sabered itself. That is excessive.
And
Oh.
then Tornado to back up the nuke.
Oh my.
I hope he
Mm.
has
Code for Herbie B.
We got a roost stick, right?
He does have the roost stick, yes. He has 428 max HP on that black belt.
That's
This is-
that's a
this is
bad
spooky.
time.
Godspeed, my
Yeah.
friend.
If this was a normal fight against Chaos, he would have a chance potentially, but this is a 8-man fight against 2 fiends
Oh,
and some
God.
bodies.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And nuke.
Fast from one and nuke from the oh my god.
Wow.
I
don't think I saw
that's a
that.
wipe.
I don't
Yeah.
think I saw that nuke.
No one else had.
Mm.
This was
Okay. All right. Pickles
right.
said the same thing, and I didn't believe him. Pickles, I'm sorry for doubting you.
Classic gamer, you're saying, you miss a lot of things with a BB that's 42. All right, kind of, but
in a way.
But counterpoint, these bosses have had enough hit points to live through the first round, and sometimes they act before you in the second, and that sets the tone.
Yeah.
So,
with the alternate final boss too, there's enough like garbage in your way to have at least like a couple turns to come out. So you might see something terrible.
At least it wasn't Fun Dead.
Oh god.
I do find it interesting. Herbie B is going back on the left side, knowing that Carbuncle is there and has the nuke that could take out his party members, and he could have at least tried the other two fiends to get down to Chaos Fight.
So the other thought on continuing on this side, though, is, it's the evil and you just kind of hope that it's going to play out nice. But it's the evil you have to fight anyway, because it's in the seafood party, or
Hagen Wagon.
It's a Hagen Wagon.
True.
Yeah. There's the name.
Yeah,
the fish platter.
Yeah. Let me tell you, that was the nicest part of the seed after only having lit 3 for offense.
Yeah. Nuke was level 8 at Gaia.
I checked on rack on my way down and saw Ice 3 and thought for a second and then said, I have like one charge. What is this going to do? And I walked out.
It's funny that means that the Black Wizard technically had 2 charges of nuke if you wanted to get it, but who had money? Who had money? And moreover, who had time? I didn't have time to go back to Gaia. I didn't have time to look at anything above 6th level, because I just never do.
Well, I'm surprised you even looked at 6th level stuff, dude.
So here's the thing. I look at 6th level to find out what I'm not going to get. What is not available to me this seed? Well, it turns out Exit, Cure 4, and Harm 4. And whatever garbage was in the black side. I didn't care about the black magic at all. So, I mean, it was nice and dead on the black side. But
Herbie continuing on. This is kind of pain.
And Hyrule Nuke came out, dropped his red wizard, and he's back on here. Oh boy. Oh
tornado to start too. Ew.
Well, yeah.
Did that
whiz for some reason?
Did that Wizzhag hit for 150 damage just now?
I think so.
Him. And with that, Herbie has gone, you know what? These fish can just continue to rot in the sun. I'm out. And has forfeited, which is fully understandable because bleep that back.
Yeah. Totally get it. GG's, man.
GG's, bud.
Yeah. We're going to see if he wants to jump on in for an interview or not. If he doesn't, that is entirely understandable because some of these can be a little tilting from time to time. I will fully admit that.
While we do that, I'll just go ahead and go over the finishers and times. We had Teeth, our first race winner, off cam at 44:19. Saracen, of course, 47:19 in second. Burt Reynolds, 48:14 on stream. Luffy DV, 49:06, fourth overall. Budge Mono, 49:53. Shanigan, 50:17. Pickles and Beer with a 52:29 in 7th, and Kumo with a 54:26. GG's to all of our runners.
Yeah, GG's everybody. This was an experience.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to watch this back now, knowing that like when I was on my way to Temple of Fiends is when I pulled up the race time room and I was like, all right, how bad is this actually embarrassing myself right now? And I saw that like Teeth already finished and I was like, wow, he finished like not that long ago, but that's like a heck of a time. Like, where is everybody? And then we all started firing right around the same time. Like I saw where we were. So I'm interested to watch this back and to see how bad this really was for the both of us, and Bert and Herbie for that matter.
This was a pretty good one to watch, I will fully admit. Y'all found the eye at just about the same time, so it was I on the screen at one point.
That's so funny, because I thought for sure that like they found this 15 minutes ago, and then I saw all the crap it had, and I thought, well, maybe this didn't go the way they thought it went, and this is okay. So,
realistically, I think we only saw a few other good grind tiles that weren't necessarily good. Some metal slimes and ice cave, I think it was.
Who had resources for that?
Yeah. Fire 2 would have been nice if I had it.
Right?
This is where my Fire 2 would go if I had it. Yeah. Yeah, and there was that blue D in the Northwest Castle, which, once again, hey, if I had anything other than lightning, maybe.
Yeah.
Again, Fire 2.
Exactly.
At least. Come on.
Like, I didn't check any volcano tiles because my mantra in this flag set is you do your grind before you go into any fiend dungeon. But like, man, I checked 4 of the tiles in ice, and then I checked, Northwest. I checked Toflocked. Like, it's just, what is there?
The 2 tiles in the armory floor were crap because I checked them because I felt so far behind. And when I was doing it, I heard you say that exact phrase in my head. And I'm like, well, he's not going to do this, so maybe I should do this.
Yeah, the Agama tiles, I don't remember exactly what they were, but they were checked and they were crap. And no one checked the red D tile because nobody's going to check the red D tile in these.
Not unless you're truly desperate.
Yeah. It looks like Herbie probably won't be joining us, which I can fully understand.
I think I just saw him jump in the setup room. Hang on.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Hey, cool.
We have
Yes,
Herbie B.
excellent. So, GG's. And
Hey.
I'm sorry for Roland Carbuncle acting like that.
Yeah, that was a
I'm
little
not
rough.
gonna lie. Yeah, okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sorry about it. I mean, it's still entertaining for the audience and for myself, but I have sympathy for how dirty it did you.
Yeah, I probably could have used a few more levels. They definitely would have helped at the end.
Yeah, we noticed your black belt was like 428 max HP, was sub 32, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't really happy with anything I was finding, right? I kind of wanted to take the eye, but it just wasn't quite working, and I didn't... Yeah, I don't know. It just never really got off the ground for me.
Yeah, well, the eye had ugly scripts.
Terrifying.
Yeah, once you could get going, it worked, but it was luck to get it started.
Yeah, it's always been tough for me with the black belt, trying to find something, try to get something that you get comfortable in and then just take it, right? And then, or if I feel like I find something, then I have my whole party up, and then, that's not exactly helping the black belt either.
Yeah, the solution for the eye seemed to have been the ribbon that Matoya had. Just throw that on the black belt and let him run rampant whilst the rest of the party gets turned into piles of sludge by the eye.
That would have been a good idea. So,
I mean, that being said, that also still relied on a bit of luck because that trance was not status element, so it was just a straight MDef check. And lower level black belt, I mean, yeah, you had the plus 20 MDef on the black belt, but that's still a kind of spooky thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was still fun. I mean, I would say the black belt's probably the character I'm kind of least comfortable with, right? I don't usually use it unless I'm forced to, so still kind of feeling my way here.
Well, this flag set will get you comfortable with the black belt.
Well, yeah, I think each time get a little more comfortable. I'm not going to say I'm comfortable yet, but I'm hopefully getting there before we get into the true brackets here.
I feel you on that.
Mm-hmm. Black belt, my favorite.
I mean, it's what performs for me, apparently. I like my thief boys, but, sometimes we just don't get to play like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The flag set that's designed around the punch cannon's gonna work.
Hey, man, I posted a seed with the dilemma where you had an improved Thor fighter and starting +2 Thor hammer. And I took that fighter.
Mm-hmm.
I finished out that seed at 21 or something like that. It was so sketchy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, I've been doing a lot of babbling. Fabian, you got anything else you want to talk to him about?
Not realistically. I think we covered the majority of what there is to talk about with this seed. It was fairly straightforward, and we had some divergence, which was very nice to see. No McDonald's. Sad.
Yeah. All right, well, let's go around get some final thoughts. Herbie, let's go ahead and start with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought this was a great race. Obviously, I would have liked it to have finished in a success here, but just had a whole lot of fun doing this. Just thanks to everyone behind the scenes and commentating here, and everyone else racing against it. I had a lot of fun tonight.
Luffy, let's toss it to you.
Thank you guys, Mathavian and Hate, for doing the comms, and Socket and Wildham, I think, doing the tracking. Thank you guys for crewing tonight, and Speed Game for hosting us, and Saracen, get out of my head, even though you live there rent free, because it's fine. These are fun. I enjoy these flags. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure these will be the flags for the live event as well, which is hopeful cool. So these are fun. I hope to keep playing these for the next couple months. I enjoy them.
Saracen, what you got?
GG's to everybody. This flag set's an experience. You just kind of have to make it a good one. I think. And that's not a slam. Like, I know Wildham put these flags together, and I really do enjoy them. I feel like I've been having success with them, which is great, and I think that I kind of showed that tonight. Everything comes together for me when it's a bigger trash fire. So I think the way that this seed was just uniquely terrible was playing to my favor. Thank you to our crew here, Hate, Thavian, Wildham Socket, Speed Gaming for hosting, and you in the audience. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Hope that you enjoyed the show, and we'll continue seeing you as we have our next qualifier in 2 days. At least I think so, right?
Yes.
I think.
And we have lots of runners who are doing this async, which is something new that we're trying out for the tournament. Get some of these bigger group races into async so that more people can get in, even if the scheduling doesn't necessarily work for them. So if you see somebody running Final Fantasy in the next 24 hours, check them out. You'll see probably this seed or something. In fact, I think I see Fred Coughlin just starting it up as he's got the Final Fantasy category turned on and 2 viewers on my screen. So, yeah.
Excellent. All right, well, if you like what you saw here tonight, follow the runners. I think they've earned it for going through this seed for you and actually doing a rather remarkable job on it. This is, it wasn't quite a horrible trash fire. I've rolled worse seeds, but for this flag set, it wasn't exactly the kindest thing. So, follow them. They have earned it. Additionally, if you like what you saw, come join us on the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. You can find a link on FinalFantasyRandomizer.com. That's also where you will find, the randomizer in itself, and a link to the wiki, which will also give you all kinds of information, including about the alternate final bosses and the alternate fiends.
Hey, remember when we did a video about the alternate final bosses?
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that is that video is linked on the alternate final bosses page as well.
Check it out. It's pretty good stuff.
But with that, Fabian, take us on home. You're muted, Fabian.
We lost the Thavian.
Fabian.
Am I
All
audible
right.
now?
Yes,
Hello.
now we can hear you. Go for it.
Thank you, audience. Thank you, racers. Thank you, Speed Gaming, for hosting this. This has been the race 2 of the Speed Gaming Live 2023 Final Fantasy Randomizer race. I've been Debbie Knock. My commentator with me here in the booth has been Hate the 13th with Wildham and Socket doing our tracking. Y'all have a very good evening.